In the latest installment in a lengthening list of trade disputes between the US and China, the Ministry of Commerce says it has launched anti-dumping and anti-subsidy investigations into US-made off-road vehicles and sedans with engine sizes of 2 litres and above. The decision comes after the China Association of Automobile Manufacturers filed an application for the investigations. The group said US car makers had unfairly benefited from 31 government subsidy programs. The announcement comes just one day after the US Commerce Department set preliminary anti-dumping duties on imports of Chinese-made oil pipes, the biggest US trade action against China to date. Beijing also again called for Washington to recognise China as a market economy, a designation that would make it harder for the United States to declare that Chinese products were being dumped at prices below market value. China has called for more contact with the US military, while President Hu Jintao said his nation's plans for space were peaceful, striking a conciliatory tone ahead of US President Barack Obama's visit. China's Vice Foreign Minister He Yafei said improving military ties between the two would help the overall relationship between the two big powers. The reassuring words were added to signs both powers seek to ease military tensions after a period of friction. President Hu told foreign Air Force delegations on Friday that China was committed to peaceful development just days after a top Air Force official sparked concerns with talk of a Great Wall of Steel in the blue sky. Obama will visit China from November 15th to 18th. Obama will go to China's economic hub of Shanghai as the first leg of his tour. 2 Dutch tourists were confirmed dead and 9 other people were injured after a passenger ship collided with a coal-carrying vessel off the coast of Guangdong province in southern China. 2 of the injured, both women, were also confirmed to be Dutch nationals. They are being treated in a local hospital but have requested to return to the Netherlands for further treatment. A passenger ship from Panyu was taking 75 passengers from a port in Hong Kong and was en route back to Guangdong when the accident happened on Thursday evening. According to an initial investigation, the bow of the freighter hit the port side of the passenger ship as they were moving towards each other. All the casualties occurred on the passenger ship. Mercedes-Benz have announced an 83% increase year-on-year in their China sales for the month of October after shifting 6,400 units. Sales for the January-October period rose 55% from a year earlier to over 50,000 units. Mercedes-Benz's sales in China last year rose 44% to nearly 40,000 vehicles. Meanwhile, Toyota, the world's biggest car maker, say it may increase vehicle sales in China 19% this year, up to 700,000 units. The car maker also narrowed its net loss forecast to $2.2 billion for the year ending March 31st, compared with earlier estimates of more than double that amount, following higher than expected demand in Asia and the US. And Tiger Woods birdied 5 of his last 10 holes for a second straight 5 under par 67, giving him a share of the 36-hole lead with Nick Watney in the final World Golf Championship of the year in Shanghai. 7 of the top 9 players on the leaderboard are from the United States, and the possibility of another number 1 versus number 2 showdown looms with Phil Mickelson, who won here 2 years ago, making 3 birdies over the last 4 holes. He finished with a 66 to finish 1 shot off the lead. Woods has been the runner-up twice at the HSBC Championships, and he put himself in contention again at the Shushan International Course, but his biggest problem has been crowd control, as the thousands who almost flocked to see him play were almost exclusively focused on his group, completely ignoring the majority of the field. And that's the BON News headlines for now, but we'll be back with more news after this.